Hello. Today I was asked by a friend to review a server called, I believe it was Skyblast MC. So I'm going to quickly do this video and give my honest opinion about the whole server. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Actually start this off, I wanted to quickly clarify that I've only played Hypixel Skyblock, and I will be using it as my reference point when I talk about all my likes and dislikes of this server. I personally believe that Hypixel has gotten the Skyblock formula down perfectly on how to guide new players in until the said new players understand the game enough to seek out any information or questions that they have and doesn't leave the players feeling lost. Which is what actually brings me into my first dislike of Skyblast. Progression doesn't make sense. It is easy to understand that this server is a grindy type of server. The server's jobs have levels that take a very long time to level up. I played for about 3 hours and I haven't even leveled up my fishing to level 2 yet. But it is never explained on how you're supposed to properly progress in the server. When starting in Hypixel's Skyblock, the player is quickly made aware of how to progress their character. This is because the player is shown collection logs and skill trees, showing what leveling up said skill and collections actually achieves. In Skyblast, the only thing that the Jobs tab shows is what the items you can gather in the skill are and how much they sell for. I also wanted to quickly say that initially I started out attempting to mine and I quickly decided to move to fishing. This is because unless you're using a server giving kit, you literally have zero chance of actually surviving the mines. This is because the enemies in the starting section of the mines instantly one-shot you without the kits. I also wanted to let it be known that I chose not to use kits that the server offers. If a Skyblock game mode exists, I as the player will always prefer to start out with nothing and grind my gear on my own. This is a mistake on my end, and it's probably something the server wasn't designed for, but I wanted to say that anyways. The second dislike that I have for this server is the shop's NPCs and in-game economy. I will talk about the economy in a bit, but for now, the NPCs are what I would like to first discuss. These NPCs in the hub are where the player will go to purchase all their items through their account's progression. Although this isn't a bad means for player progression, Skyblast's overall design feels like I'm not progressing my account through natural game-made areas such as the caves. Instead, I'm working and gaining money through one occupation, which in my case was fishing, and then I proceed to use that to use NPCs and rush the in-game in little to no time at all. In Hypixel, most of the progression you'll be making throughout your time playing will be from actual in-game locations, slowly progressing until you're ready to move into the next area. An example would be starting on the hub's farming area until you gain your supplies and tools from the NPCs needed to move on into the barn area. As previously stated, Skyblast's main progression is only from purchasing from NPCs. Hypixel has the same mechanic, but there's a major difference between Skyblast and Hypixel's NPCs, and this is Skyblast deals with an extremely inflated economy. This is merely a personal annoyance, but for having an extremely inflated economy with no form of taxation on purchases or any form of money sink to get the in-game currency out, will quickly lead to money having literal zero value, and thus makes progressing through these means feel more unrewarding than they already are. Hypixel suffers from inflation too, just like Skyblast, but unlike Skyblast, the players aren't instantly able to buy everything that they need after only putting in a couple of hours of in-game time. Hypixel is very good at ensuring that beginning players will constantly have to overcome money sinks in form of purchasing new tools and armor from NPCs and using money for other means of progressions, like Slayer tasks for example. This is where Skyblast fails. Currently, if you choose to go down the fishing route, you can obtain crate keys to use in the hub area of the game, and while this is one of my likes of the server that it doesn't use pay-to-win crates, it also causes an abundance of issues. The crates will give you items that can easily sell to NPCs for over tens of thousands of in-game currency, quickly leading to you having zero need for currency as you're already able to purchase anything from NPCs that you need. Skyblast uses a minion system like Hypixel, and the cost of these minions are high, but in my personal opinion, having the purchases only set for somewhere around the 10 million range doesn't really matter as the current inflow of money quickly defeats this set cost. Lastly, some of the NPCs for some unexplained reason will not sell you certain items. For example, the ore NPC will not sell you diamonds. The only way is to use the caves to mine your own or buy a generator from the store for quite a bit of money. I don't know if this is to counter my previous argument that the developers want you to use the in-game areas instead of buying everything from NPCs, but if that's the case, then why not add a bio limit to NPCs to force players to still go into the mines for resources other than just diamonds? It's weird to me that this only affects certain items in the store and not others.
Alright, so let's quickly talk about the goods of the server. There's not many goods of the server, I'm going to go ahead and say this starting out, but the overall design of the hub area and the areas you can explore are pretty alright to look at. The mine's a little bland, it needs a little bit more flavor to it, maybe some lighting adjustments or something, you know, glowstone in some areas or something like that. But apart from that, it was nice to look at the areas. The server features pay-to-win crates. I talked about it earlier in the video, but the good part about these crates is that there are free ways to obtain said keys for the crates, which is also my last like of the server, which is daily rewards for the players, which is another way for the players to obtain keys. Apart from that, that's about it for my likes of the server. The server is a very basic, very just kind of bland, not really a server that I would consider myself wanting to become a long-term player of. But at the end of the day, I'm just some schmuck, so you should probably go and play the server for yourself.